No, y'all, I haven't been combing my hair lately because, like, I've been working. But the Alphabet Series 2025 hair videos, they still on deck, y'all. I've been looking through my stash for the letter D, and I believe it's going to be Diva Curl. Hi, I'm Healy Means. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to a Backyard Shenanigans video. Ladies and gentlemen, I am out here today to start working on these mini raised beds. In case you missed it, check out the live stream with me and Joy earlier today. It is on her channel, Joy of the Home and Garden. Or is it Joy of the Garden and Home? Y'all, I keep mixing it up, but I'm going to have it in the description, and I'll probably put a picture up. Make sure you check out that live stream where we talked about gardening gripes. Y'all, I had some gripes. Joy had some gripes. The people in the chat had some gripes. Y'all, it happens. Gardening gripes. Make sure y'all check out that live stream. Before I get into this video, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. Click that notifications bell. Make sure it is set to all. Like, comment, and share with everyone you know. Now, y'all, let's start working on these mini raised beds. So on this video, I'm just going to show one raised bed, this one right here. And then basically, that's what I'm going to do to the rest of the other 5. I have my little Temu gloves on, my garden gloves, y'all. It's cotton all on this part, and then this part is plastic. I don't have my long sleeve shirt on today, but you can see how it comes up over the elbow. All right, y'all. I had to take a phone call, and while I was talking on the phone, I was working. So let me show you what I've done during that time. Okay, so here is these 3 beds that I've partially broken down. You can see, oh, and my hat flew off. Good thing I had the pool cover on. All right, so y'all see I took the PVC frames. You can see the parts and pieces is all around here. So I took off the PVC frames, took the chicken wire off, and my plan for these beds is going to look like this. You might not be able to see it. Let me back up just a little bit. Okay, so these are my roughly 3x2 raised beds, but y'all, they shorter than that, because when you take off like the corner areas for the bricks, the blocks, so it end up being shorter than 3x2. But I took, if you can see, I put some nails, some screws in here, and then I took some garden wire and just kind of roughly divided this into 6 squares or 6 areas. They are not 12 inches each. I think probably one of them is, and the other 2 aren't. It is not perfectly measured or anything like that, but this just gives me an idea of 6 growing spaces in each raised bed. And then I'm gonna plant plant my little seedlings or direct sow in here. Put the oil back. The oil is filled with water now, and I did water down the bed. I added some of this soil that's been in my wheelbarrow. I should definitely have enough to spread out between the rest of these mini raised beds, y'all. I'm gonna harvest them tomatoes for real. I am. Some of them they like bright fire red. But I'm gonna harvest the cherry tomatoes, and then I'm gonna pull up this plant, even though it is still, y'all look. And every time I say, and this is the reason why, it just keep putting on more and more. It just keep putting on more and more tomatoes. And I keep saying I'm gonna pull up the plant. I'm gonna pull up the plant. The thing look like it's 4/5 dead, but it still keep flowering, and it still keep putting on fruit. But for real, y'all, you know, it got to go. This is the end result. Like I said, I already had soil in here. I had this soil that I took out of other raised beds and buckets and stuff like over time, filled up my wheelbarrow. And then I put just a little bit of this. This is the Dr. Earth's Pure Gold Organic and Natural Handcrafted Blend. It's a 222. So a low fertilizer. It says pelletized. Let me show you, because half of it's pelletized. It almost look like alfalfa pellets, but oh, come on, now I can't get the thing out the bag, y'all. Trying to do this with one hand. Now I'm spilling. Nah, y'all hold up, because we wasting stuff now. So you can see, like, it's supposed to be pelletized, but a lot of it is dusty and sandy. Let me tilt this back in this way. So I wanted to show you more, but like I said, I got that phone call, and while I was talking on the phone, I was working. So what you see here, that's how I'm gonna do the rest of the beds. But y'all, I'm tired. I did the one bed, and I was supposed to just do the beds, but then I started breaking down the PVC frames, took the chicken wire off and all of that. Y'all know one thing lead to another, as usual, as always. Y'all check out the live stream on Joy's channel, Joy of the Garden and Home. So check that out. One of the things I mentioned was, this is my pink lemonade lemon tree, and it is going up and down, but I'm going to show you the result of what has this tree in trouble, and it's starting to come back. Is this right here. I don't know if you can really see it, but you see how stuff look a little gnarly, look a little like deformed and stuff. There's little bugs in there that's doing that to this tree, and it's stunting the growth of the branches. And these branches should be full of leaves, but they're not. But if you remember this tree from about 5 or 6 months ago, it had like hardly no leaves on it at all. It was looking like 100% pitiful. Now it's looking like 50% pitiful. So I am gonna mix up some more of that IV Organics. The it's a tree, whatever it is. It's like the paste that you put on the tree. So instead of the 50-50 latex paint and water solution, IV Organics has a product, and if you dilute it enough, you can use it as a spray. That's what I did before, and it worked. It really helped this tree out, and I'm gonna do it again. I did the same thing on this, my more blood orange tree. Now, as you can see, this thing has a lot of leaves, and they very green, but the tree is not growing. The tree is not growing anymore. This sawed off a branch in the middle. This is the main trunk. Well, at least it was. But I had to cut that back. I had to cut this tree back a lot. And as you can see, it has beautiful green leaves, but it's been like this for probably about 4 or 5 months. So there's something that's stunting the growth. I need to figure that out. Again, I'm going to spray the IV Organic solution on this as well. This is my Washington Navel Orange, and it also has pretty green leaves on it, but as you can see, it's doing a similar thing. It's dying from the top. You see the branches at the top are brown, but as you go down the tree, you have beautiful green leaves. So, and you can really see it on this side. You see how the branch is brown at the top, but the further you go down, you know, the greener it is. Now see, look, you see those ladybugs in there? So that means that I have aphids. If you can see, hopefully y'all, I'm putting the camera where you can see it. I see at least 2 ladybugs, which is good. So I know they're helping me with the aphids, but I still need to spray this tree also with the IV Organics. There it is. Hey, ladybug, do your thing. Do your thing. And this is my Royal Lead cherry tree. I'm gonna cut this top branch. Y'all see how much taller this leading branch is than these other ones? I'm gonna cut that top one at least down to the same size as these two, because what happens is the branch that is the highest gets the most energy, and then the lower branches, you know, have a time at catching up. They get the energy that's left over. So I am going to do that in the dormant season. So I'm going to even that branch down with these other ones. And then you see how this little sprout is growing up down here. Now this is, I believe this is above the graft, but I still don't want that branch. You see how that's the little skinny thing? Yeah, I'm cutting that off. This one right here that's growing up, I might keep that one, I might not. That's definitely above the graft, but I don't know. I gotta see. But for sure, this one right here gotta go. I will be doing that again all through the dormant season. Here is flowers and stuff, and I sowed some more seeds. You can see, hopefully you can see because the sun is coming up, but more flowers starting to come up. I sowed some more seeds. You can see like a little bit, and then I did the same thing over here on that other side over there. I do have my ladder mesh that I'm going to be using as a trellis for the plants that vine. So the cucumbers, beans, whatever I grow in here that either need support or that already vines or whatever, like the cantaloupe and the watermelon and stuff, I'm going to use these ladder meshes as trellises for those. Some of the raised beds I might put 2 trellises to cross, you know, long ways, and the width and the length. Put 2 of the ladder meshes in there. I pulled out my square just to check and make sure, and yes, so this is a square, so 12 inches by 12 inches, and my raised beds are definitely not 6 squares, you know, big. They're not, but I'm using what I'm working with. Y'all, let me get out here, and I wanna get the rest of these 2 done, and basically it's gonna look like this. I'm gonna fill them up with soil. Well, what I did first was, where's okay, I used this to just kind of like rake out old roots and old stuff, you know, just took like, see, I still have some of the fertilizer left from the last time I put fertilizer in here. That's why I was like, man, I don't even need to put fertilizer, or I'm not gonna put fertilizer, but I still ended up putting a little bit of that 222 in this bed, so I'm gonna put it in this bed too. Look, here's a old label when I had the cantaloupe in here from last time. That cantaloupe grew pretty well, but I didn't pay attention like I should have. Something else that I also mentioned, I was talking about my mini raised beds, and we were talking about wood versus metal beds, and I was saying what I do to try to prolong the life of the wood. You know, wood is going to break down faster than metal. That is true. But you can see this is, what I say, like contractor garbage bag. So it's thicker than just your regular garbage bag. And I just lined the inside. You can see like the outside is, you know, the plain wood. This is untreated wood. But I have the garbage bags, the contractor garbage bags on the inside. And so that helps the wood, you know, the inside of the wood board not come in contact with water or soil or plants or whatever. Y'all, this is the trap. This is our little pest trap where we have caught multiple skunks and opossums. It's open, right? There's nothing in it, but there's no food or anything in here, and we still every so often catch something will come crawling in there and set the trap off. Now look at this. See, another reason why I'm raking through. See, I got tags and everything in here, so I'm just going through this, you know, kind of going through, sifting through. So that's the first thing. Well, the first thing was to take the PVC cages off. Take all the, I have like these 6-foot stakes, you know, take those out of the corners. Sift through the soil. I take the oils out so I can sift through everything. Put the screws in. Put the garden wire to section it off, 6 sections. Put the oil back. Put the lid on it. Fill in the soil with what's in my wheelbarrow. Mix in a little bit of the fertilizer. Get everything back going, and then I'll finally water it in, and then of course fill the oil. So that's what I got going on, y'all. Is I'm tired and I'm hungry, so let me go ahead and focus on, I want to get this bed done and that bed done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back like a few hours later. I don't even know what time I did the last segment, but I had to leave to attend a Zoom meeting. And now I'm back just to quickly show you that I did finish these 3 raised beds. So I took off the my little PVC frames. I took all of that down. I took down the chicken wire that's way over there somewhere. The 6-foot, what you call these little stakes. I took all of that stuff down. I refreshed the soil with some of this soil from out the wheelbarrow, and then some of this fertilizer. This is the Dr. Earth's Pure Gold Organic and Natural Handcrafted 222 fertilizer. So organic fertilizer. Mixed all of that stuff in, watered it down. I made, if you can see, like the garden wire, and you see the screws. So I just divided the raised beds into 6 sections. These are not equally square foot size. They're not 12 by 12. These raised beds, once you count, you know, like this square part out of it, that takes out some of the measurement on the length and the width. But I just kind of divided these into just 6 sections to give me an idea of how much planting space that I actually have as compared to what I drew out on my sheets. And I might do a separate video showing you how I drew out my different garden spaces. These are the ladder meshes that I use to make hoops inside these mini raised beds, like for trellises. So wherever I have to grow the cucumbers, probably even the melons, and whatever I feel needs a trellis, I'll put these in there. Some of these I was thinking about putting 2 ladder meshes and putting it crossways, so lengthways and widthways, so I would have 2 trellises in 1 mini raised bed. We'll see how that works. So yeah, this is it. And I don't think I ever showed you, like, you know, kind of like a close-up of the raised beds. But all it is these little concrete blocks, and these are 6 inches high. You see 2 of them. So these raised beds are 12 inches high, and they are roughly 2 by 3, but the growing space is smaller than that. So I finished these 3 raised beds. That was the goal for today. Very soon, maybe by this weekend, I'll do these 3, or maybe even tomorrow I might do these 2, since I don't have anything in them. And then I'll save this one for when I harvest the cherry tomatoes. If you can see this, you see how the soil is kind of disturbed. That's because probably about 2 weeks ago now, we had a possum. And I did do a YouTube short on that. So whenever that YouTube short was, I think that's the last time something came through. Maybe something came through after that and just didn't go into the trap. The trap is right here, is open. And we're catching things, and there's no food or nothing in there. They just, I don't know, they just go in there and get trapped, y'all. But the goal today was to do these 3 raised beds, so they are refreshed and ready to go. I did say once I refresh my garden spaces, especially when I add fertilizer, which I did, I like to let the beds sit for at least a week. And that's what I'm going to do. It's probably going to be even closer to 2 weeks. Y'all look at, I got apples. See my little apples growing? Look at this cluster of apples. So even though my grafting, and y'all look, I still have not taken the grass off, but you can see, like, this is 100% dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to take this off. But the failed grafts are not adversely affecting the tree. See, I have another apple right there. I have more blooms, like more flowers coming, so that's good. So the health of the tree has not been damaged or messed up in any kind of way, and that's good for that. This is my lemon tree that has a whole bunch of little green, little pea-sized lemons on it right now. They will be growing out in the weeks and the months to come. This is my newest cherry tree. This is the Royal Crimson cherry tree, and you can see this is in a pot. So the Royal Crimson and the Royal Lee over there are in pots, and then my mini Royal is in the ground, and you could definitely see the difference. But this been in the ground since like 2018. So this one I just bought maybe a month or so ago, and then that one I got maybe three months ago or so. This is, and I'm glad I came over here because I need to put these back in my little greenhouse. So this is my second set of seeds that I'm sowing. Peppers, tomatoes, some ground cherries and tomatillos, and some cucumbers in this batch. And you can see, so the Space Master and the Market More is just starting to come up. Everything else not yet, but I just sowed these seeds maybe like a week ago. This is a mini me cucumber that's already starting to flower. I got this a couple weeks ago from the community garden. These are some leftover. Y'all hear them hummingbirds, huh? These are some of the leftovers from the first round of me sowing seeds. So like all of these trays right here are from the first seeds that I sowed, and most of them were doing well, but I brought them out here, and as soon as I took them from out of my little greenhouse over there, which is where I'm gonna put the stars back, something happened and they just started failing. At first I thought that I had burned them all with fertilizer because I mistakenly mixed in soil with that 222. I mistakenly mixed that soil into the seedlings that I up potted, but these are in the original containers, so I did not up pot these. I did not up pot these, but all of them just like started dying. These ones, like I did up pot some of these, and I was like, well, maybe I fried them with the fertilizer. But now, y'all, I gotta think about it again, because the ones that are still in the Green Stalk Garden seed starting trays, which is these, I didn't up pot those. So why did they fail when they were doing perfect in the greenhouse? And then you can see the leaves here. Some people ask me, was this powdery mildew? It's not powdery mildew. It's not. And like I said, I thought that I probably burned the leaves with fertilizer, even though it was only 222, 222 NPK, which is a low dose fertilizer, and I didn't use a lot, but apparently it was enough for things to go wrong. I did see some little gnats and flies, so I was thinking maybe white fly or some type of fly gnat situation, pest situation going on. But I'm still not sure. Y'all, this is the rice. So y'all see nothing coming out of the rice. And this is very soupy and goopy, but nothing. I put these baskets over here to like just protect it from the birds, because I didn't want them like swooping up. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for this video. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. Click that notifications bell. Make sure it is set to all. Like, comment, and share with everyone you know. And until next time, be safe, be well, and be blessed.